Okay, this is a little bit more of a sad realization. I no longer feel anything for boss battlers. Boss battlers like Aeon's End. I had good hopes for the Descent. It has two story lines, and I read through this. It's a nice story if you are into Aeon's End. This part is if you had Aeon's End first box, and it goes into underground traversal from Gravehold, because it plays in the original first epoch of the game, and after going through several dungeons, you fight Rageborn, and there's a nice story branching, like a fight Rageborn at the end of your game versus Rageborn. If you won, read the next section, the Battle 1 conclusion, and at the end of your game versus Rageborn, if you lost, fight it again, and after your second game, regardless of result, read the next section. This is a very nice format. Then it goes on into it plays with Kadir and Xaxos and Mist and Lash. So these are heroes from the first box, and there's more thematic stuff, and then you enter the fight with Carapace Queen. So there is no board. There is no the joy of the game should be in the written story, and it doesn't really do much for me. Although it is in serif font, which is a good thing. I can't blame the writers for this. And here you fight the Carapace Queen at the end of your game versus Carapace Queen. If you won, read the next section. If you lost, fight it again. And after your second game, you read the next section. So it goes on and on. They are following some kind of animal that is continually outside of their reach. And in, let's see, Battle 3, the Crooked Mask enters their nightmares and dreams, and has the same format. You can continue on, so there's not real branching, but it ties things together. And here you fight the Prince of Gluttons. So this is actually a part that should be placed in Aeon's End Box 1. However, you can, of course, if you have Box 1, play with the other characters. And for War Eternal, if you have the box for War Eternal, that is the same kind of thing. So you, it plays with different characters from War Eternal. So you see here the pictures. So it's with Desmodia, Magda, and Mazahedron, and Jan. So you fight the Titan, and then you continue on. You fight the Mages of Cloaks, and regardless of the outcome, you fight the Hollow Crown. And the Gate Witch. So I've seen several videos where you can follow through, and the problem is that after you after you spend an hour or two with half an hour setting up and tearing down, you win or you lose, and the parameters of the game via the tiered Nemesis cards are so that it will be a tight difference, but in the end you're just playing somebody else's game basically, and there is no progress through from one battle to the next, so there is no overarching arch, or how do you say? Yeah, so it doesn't. I couldn't get myself to play this, even though I had played with friends Eon's End Legend or something, Legacy. Yeah, it is just very mechanical. That's what I want to say. I'm more into stories or something that something that remains. So roguelite would be more of my jam. There is also Eon's End Friends and Foes, where you can play with a friend, and if you the problem with playing with a friend deck is that if you lose, then you really suck, and if you play with a friend and a foe, it's much more complicated. More things can happen, of course, because there are various friends, various foes. You can make an entire list of all the battle combinations that you could make. But in the end, it is also only your skill and the market deck setup that influences yeah, your experience. That is what I have against boss battlers in general. And so all my boss battlers are going for sale into the secondary market. This excludes the Hexploit games, which are also boss battlers, but I made them both into a roguelite experience. So regardless of play, you get better, you get more bonuses, much like in the one deck dungeon, if that means anything to you. Yeah, the format is not at fault. If you like boss battlers, this is a great game. It has these cool stop features. As you can see, everything is still unpunched. So I found a seller. I found a buyer who wanted to try it, but the game that I got was a secondary market game, second hand, and the person who sold it to me for about €100 also couldn't bring herself to play it. So and this is not the first time that it happened. I bought Heroes of the Shire, which is extremely rich combination of asymmetric heroes and very cool bosses that I helped proofread, but in the end it's a boss battler. There is nothing that persists except your intrinsic player skill. So I sold it and to a person who was interested in the Heroes of the Shire, because it had very good reviews. If you from people who were actually enamored by it, and if you play with more than one person, or if you play non-solo, then it is always much more fun, of course. So boss battles are cool, but I don't think they are for me. I'm not a good fit for solo boss battling. The same thing goes with Arydia, which I sold. It was just too mechanical and nothing much was happening. I have low hopes for Shire because I have everything from Shire, A Legend of Adrift system, and all the boxes that came with the Kickstarter. I'll give it a try, but yeah. The text, you feel there is an effort in the text for Aeon's End, but it doesn't evoke any situation for me. And that is not due to a lack of knowledge of the mages. Mages themselves, they are not very attractive to look at. It's American art. I wish it had Japanese cool art. That's not the case, unfortunately. But you have these envelopes that you can open, and there is this. There is Adelheim, and there's some extra deck, and there are cool extra elements and energies. And you have burning and venom, and it's very rich mechanically. So, yeah, take that for what you will. You can charge, and there's turn order tokens. It's very well thought through, and one of the best entries into Aeon's End, I think. That's the Descent. Okay, bye.